welcome to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B, and yep, you figured it out. We in the same room that we was in before, and I love it in here. I don't know about y'all, but I love it in here. And this is my element, right? This is my element. This is where I fit in. But today is awesome. Today is going to be a good day. We're talking about Highland Park, of course, but today I also have someone in studio with me who is now the new Community and Economic Development Director for the City of Highland Park, Mr. Carlton Clyburn himself, Jr. Carlton D. Clyburn Jr. in studio with me today. So it is awesome to have you here with me. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I do want to just dive right on in, right?
Let's
Because
go.
Highland Park is it's a city within a city, right? And Highland Park is what I call a gem. It sits right in the center of Detroit. You pass through Detroit, you pass through Highland Park, go right into Ferndale, and it's just a great connecting city. But we do know that Highland Park has been forgotten about in some instances, right? And you're now the director for the Community and Economic Development. And what is your vision for the city of Highland Park, and how does it necessarily line up with what the residents also want?
All right, thank you. Those are both great questions, and
Mm-hmm.
just a little tidbit. This is a place that I call home, always called home. Highland Park is near and dear to my heart, so it's just a great position to be in, to be able to develop, my community. I've been working for the city in some capacity since 2012, and it just does me well. But to get into your question, like I said, I've been working for the city of Highland Park for many years now, and my vision aligns with the community based on our master plan, based on our downtown strategic plan, which was a lot of community engagement. So we went to the residents, we went to the streets, we went and pulled in the stakeholders, say, hey, what do y'all want to see? What does this look like? So over the
Yeah.
years, we have been gathering data. We've had the gloom and doom of the one issue looming over us. So now that it's sunshine and clouds and we can move forward,
Absolutely.
it's exciting because we have a lot of great opportunity. Highland Park, like you say, sits in the middle of Detroit,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
and we have Woodward, which is our main vein. We have Hamilton, which is ours.
Okay.
And I see Hamilton as the key to the resurgence of Highland Park.
Wow. Okay. So I didn't know that. So Hamilton is actually a city-owned, Highland Park city-owned street.
Correct. So
Okay.
so Woodward is controlled and operated by the state.
Okay.
Davidson by the county. Hamilton is ours. So
Okay.
years and years ago, Second was also one of our main veins. That's why if you
Okay.
see now they got the underground where you to cross the street you had to go underground and come up.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we got a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of opportunity for growth.
Okay. Awesome. So we all know, right? Building relationships is a key part. And there can often be the difference between a successful initiative and one that fails. And so, how will you approach building new relationships with key stakeholders within the community?
Okay, so over the years I've developed plenty and great relationships, and I've been nurturing them. I've been working together with different entities and different peoples. So it's really not a culmination. It's like, okay, the ground is laid, the groundwork is laid. I was just at Wayne County just hosted a community and economic development event today. It was great. It was great attendance. Just talking about the initiative for the 43 communities and how it's serious. It's a serious for all Wayne County. So Highland Park is included in that.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to people from MEDC, talk to developers. We got the Joe Louis Greenway coming through. So there are a lot of community partners ready to work with us and move this development piece forward.
That's awesome. So you did hit on the Joe Louis Greenway, and I'm segueing, kind
Okay.
of veering off my topics right now,
My
but
bad.
the Joe Louis Greenway. No, I'm excited for it
Right.
because this project is so huge, and it
Hmm.
just doesn't cover Highland Park, but it goes through Highland Park. It goes through Detroit. If I'm not mistaken, it goes through Dearborn.
Hamtramck.
It goes through Hamtramck. Do it go through Ferndale at all?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. But it's connecting all these small cities.
Yes.
And for Highland Park to be included in that, that's amazing. Do you know the areas in Highland Park that the Joe Louis Greenway is going to be passing through?
Absolutely. We actually have one of the best pieces of the Joe Louis Greenway because our piece of the Joe Louis Greenway crosses Woodward. So you have the old rail line.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it passed. So you're talking about, and it can connect our rec center to the old football field. So you talking along that path. You got coming up like it's between it's north of Manchester, right?
Okay.
Um, it goes past, like I said, the rec center parking lot. It goes across the viaduct on Woodward, and it
Mm-hmm.
goes alongside the football field, the old Highland Park High School site, and then it goes back out, and then after it crosses through Oakland and across 75, that's when it hit Hamtramck. So it starts over there by
Wow.
the old Hostess Bakery,
Okay.
and it goes along the old railway.
That's going to be so great.
Oh, it's going
I
to be so great.
so since we talking about this Joe Louis Greenway, I
Hmm.
want to know. I'm curious. I know I'm gonna ask this question again towards the end,
That's
but
fine.
um, so with their building up that area,
Hmm.
are there gonna be some businesses that come alongside the Joe Louis Greenway that we could expect? Is there a way to kind of promote that to get business to come in to kind of build up around the Joe Louis Greenway at all?
So that's a great point. And when you talk about building relationships, the Joe Louis Greenway has been in conversations with most of the property owners
Okay.
along the Joe Louis Greenway. So we do have some very exciting development projects to to go along with the Greenway. So
Okay.
yes, yes, it's something to look forward to. I'm excited. I just today at the event, I talked to the team, and they expressed their excitement. We're gonna have a few meetings coming up,
Hmm.
but yeah, like the county put in a lot of money for us to get our area cleaned out. So now we did the demo. It's cleared out. So we're ready to build, and again, when you talk about what the community wants, we had a lot of community engagement, a lot of meetings leading up to this point. So all of that information was captured and is going to be used as we move forward with the development of the Greenway and what sits around the Greenway.
Awesome. So I'm gonna jump right back to my questions.
Come on with it.
Because I did kind of veer off a
Let's
little
go.
bit, but managing the said relationships that you're talking about,
Yes.
right? Maintaining a healthy, productive environment is also critical. Hence, there would be a lot of criticism or negative feedback from community members at some point. I mean, it's inevitable.
Hmm.
You could do so many great things, and then you have some people they just complain,
Right.
right? So, how do you deal with negative feedback or criticism from community members?
So we know,
You have to sit up on that one. I
yeah,
saw that.
because I want to make sure I say this right. Okay. So we know in serving,
Hmm.
you're not going to be able to please everyone. So we look
Very
at the biggest number, and that's how we move, right? And
Okay.
then, you just open and transparent discussion. Okay, you take the calls, you take the complaints, and you talk to them, and you attempt to explain why we're moving in the direction we're moving.
Hmm.
Hey, it's based off this feedback. Hey, it's based off this engagement. We have community partners, and this is the best interest for the community partners, but this is what it'll bring to the city. So I know you may not like what you hear or see right now, but just sit back and trust the process. You
Ooh,
trust the
that's a good one.
process, and you'll be happy in the end. Because right, you may not be able to see the vision because you haven't been in the rooms. You don't know what's going on fully
Hmm.
because you come to a meeting, you might here or there, you don't know the full plan.
Yeah.
and all of the moving parts and pieces that go along with it. So the people that's in control of this and the people that's making decisions, they're present. And
Right.
even if it's trade off or that information is still present. So a lot of the information that's already captured and gathered is captured and gathered. So the next person come in and say, okay, we got all this information, we got all this feedback. This is what we're going to use to move it forward.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, the whole trust the process piece is critical. But here's the thing too, um, is people can find out about this information
Hmm.
because there's the city council meetings, there's the different commissions that meet as well. Um, Now, I'm not exactly sure. Are residents able to come to the commission meetings?
Absolutely, they're posted. So as community and economic development, what falls under us is the TIFA and the Planning Commission. The
Okay.
TIFA meeting meets every third Tuesday at 5:30 at City Hall, and the Planning Commission is every third Wednesday at City Hall in the conference room. The agendas will be posted, the calendar is posted, and we have assembled teams and commissions that are ready to work. I feel very good. I'm excited about the teams we got and the commissions that we're working with to move these projects and all these initiatives forward. Also, what falls underneath us is the Historic Commission. So we're
Okay.
working to, get that back together. We're short a few members,
Hmm.
but we're going to work to, the mayor is going to work to make some appointments and get that commission back going because it's crucial in moving everything forward because we know Highland Park is a very historic city.
Absolutely. It's a lot of history here. And
Hmm.
I will be so bold to say that Highland Park really is the Motor City because that's
Henry
when
Ford.
everything jumped
That's
off here
right.
in Highland Park.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, granted, Ford may have had that small little itty bitty factory in Detroit, but it ain't had nothing
Nothing.
on what Highland Park had.
That's,
And that was literally the catalyst to major,
mm-hmm.
um, what's the word? Production.
Yeah.
That's what launched production across the
And,
United States.
and then just to add to that, you're talking about the migration from the South. Because when
Yeah.
Ford opened up that plant right here on Manchester, that's when people was coming up to get the good wages.
You're right. Yeah. That's when Highland Park was at its peak, over
Absolutely.
50,000
Yeah,
residents
yeah,
at that time. So,
yeah.
yeah, okay. So, I know that in order to really make a true difference, everyone has to feel included in what's
Mhm.
happening in their area. Now, we know that residents can attend these different meetings, the commission meetings, the city council meetings, but how do you also ensure that, for those that's not able to come out, that all voices in the community are heard and valued when it comes to new developments or interests?
So if they're not able to come out, we also have the virtual option. And they call in, we're taking calls, we're returning calls. I hear we got this amazing new website about to launch, and so that's going to help with the interactive piece. I was just talking to a couple of elders after the last planning commission, and that was one of their concerns. Like, hey, I'm not, the technology. I live in my home, so we do have to do a better job in making sure we reach our seniors that's in the homes,
Okay.
and we're working on making sure that happens as well. Because I'm working with the pastors, and they're coming out there, and we have seniors that do come to the meetings and does have a network. Like, hey, please share this information with the other seniors that that may not be able to get out and be a part of some of this.
Hmm. Yeah, I do know that yes, there's a new website coming out, and I am super excited about it because
Me too.
look, I've been working hard at this project. Okay,
Yep.
this has been a long time coming. I've been trying to get this website done since 21.
Mm,
Okay, and so to now finally see it come into fruition, I am super excited.
that's right.
And so it's one of the main things that I wanted to do here in Highland Park because that's me leaving my mark on the city. But you hit on really trying to reach people in their homes, and that's something that we definitely have to do. But in order to do that, there has to be income, right? So I'm going to jump over one of the questions that I was going to ask and hit on the fact that the tax base here in Highland Park, um, the issue, what most people don't realize is that when the city owns majority of the property, there's no taxes being taken in on that. And so the taxes is how the city gets their revenue. And so there's that big issue of Highland Park owning a lot of their properties. How do you plan to assist in turning that issue around?
That's a great point, great question, and great discussion. So, as you said, so Highland Park owns roughly 1,400 parcels. The county owns close to 400. The state owns close to three. So, what we do is we get together, and these conversations are already being had, and the meetings are already being set for us to work together because none of us are landlords really. We're not in the business of holding property. We shouldn't be because, like you said, that's our tax base.
Yeah.
So we are going to work diligently to get this out. The mayor has set a goal of 20% this year. So that's around 295 parcels, and I feel confident we can hit that. Right now I'm looking at some of the target areas where we own the concentration. So we're looking at blocks, and we're going to work with developers to develop blocks, larger parcels on Hamilton, some of the stuff that's really going to spark other development. And you may have a block that has 80% Highland Park, a couple county, a couple state. We get together, say, hey, we're going to work together. We're going to package this up, and we're going to get this to this developer and help them move it. And on some blocks, my goal is to the residents that's been sitting in some of these areas that's been blighted, like to kind of give them something like, hey, let's make sure we're pulling monies or grant monies so they can do rehab and upgrade their homes and fix some of the things that they need to fix in their homes as we build in all this new all these new homes.
Yeah.
That's when we're talking on the residential side. So like I say, it's a great opportunity. I'm excited about the opportunity, and I look forward to the challenge. And I feel like it's something that we will accomplish to bring, pull in some tax dollars and build some homes. You figure, like I said, I worked code enforcement from 2012 to 2018. After the 2009, and people started leaving their homes between 2012 and say 2015, 2006, we demoed 1,000 homes. So, you look at the census numbers and say, well, you're down. Well, yeah, we don't have housing stock.
Right.
Highland Park used to be a place we had plenty of apartment buildings, plenty of multifamily units. Those are gone. So now we have to turn it around to say, okay, I remember it was an apartment building here. This is multifamily, and we rebuild those. And similar to what's going on in Brush Park. That's when I look at Highland Park, I think about that Brush Park area because they're doing the new development with some of the historical homes, and it looks really good down there, and they're doing a good job. So those are some of the models that I'm looking at to mirror to bring to Highland Park.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I know you mentioned 20% that you guys want to kind of get out of owning. The city wants to get out of owning at least 20% this year.
Correct.
So with that being said, there are residents, there are people here within the city of Highland Park who may possibly want to purchase, parcels, whether it's land or homes or apartment buildings or whatever the case may be. Would those opportunities be presented to Highland Parkers first, or is it just open to everybody all at once, or how does that process typically work?
So legally, I don't think that we can do it that way. But I encourage Highland Parkers to come in because, you got front seat, you got front row, you're here, you've been here. I'm looking at, the pile of developments and the pile of requests. I don't have many Highland Parkers.
Okay.
So I'm not sure why that is, or if, Highland Parkers have the resources to make it happen, but then that's where you got joint ventures, or you might need to partner with some people. But, I want Highland Parkers to be included. I'm gonna repeat that. I want Highland Parkers to be included. So if there are any Highland Parkers that's listening to this, please come to the real estate office and let's take a look and see what we have available, see what you want to do, and let's figure it out, sit down, work it out, so Highland Parkers can be involved in this resurgence as well.
Okay. Sounds good. So I know that, in order to purchase, you got to have some, liquidity. You
That's
got to
right.
be able to bring something to the table.
Right.
And so, whether that's through home loans, business loans, or whatnot. And that's another thing that we tend to see is, unfortunately, in a lot of black and brown communities, those loans are not readily available to us. And if they are, we have to jump through high hoops. We have to take super high interest rates, even though our credit scores may be very well competitive with someone else's credit score. And I'm not going to get into that. But, you know, I wonder if, and you may not know the answer to this question, but are you aware of any grants or any opportunities that may be available to Highland Parkers that if they wanted to, get into development within their home area, that they would be able to do so?
That's a interesting question. Okay.
Okay.
I'm still discovering the answer to that because I'm working with some of the agencies, and we do get money from time to time. It's enough to repair your porch, maybe put a roof on, but as far as development dollars, that's tricky.
Okay.
So we're going to work to bring that to Highland Park. But the residents that want to be a part of development, they have to be present. That means the planning commission meetings, the TIFA meetings. If they're not there, at least catch them back online because it's all virtual. So
Okay.
if you miss a meeting, you can still go to the website, to the YouTube page, and catch the meeting and see what's going on. So when you hear about these opportunities, you take advantage of them.
Yeah.
Like I say, the real estate window, that is the entry point for pretty much everything. Rosalind's down there. She does a great job collecting the information, and we're going to get it to the proper departments. But that's the start. And if you're a Highland Parker and you do have a plan, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get creative. Don't wait too long.
Okay.
Don't wait too long. Saying what you don't have or what you may not be able to do, because you never know. You may come up with an idea. It's a person that, it may be a developer that can help and attach you to the project being a Highland Parker. And with other development coming, that means banks will come in and more funding sources will come in. So we have to create all these opportunities for ourselves.
Yeah.
One more time, we got to create the opportunities for ourselves.
Say it louder for the people in the
I'm
back.
telling you, so just sitting back,
I'm telling you, okay?
just sitting back ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hear it, and I hear it, and I'm from Highland Park, and I love my city, but you can't just sit back wanting things to come to you. We have to do this. I mean,
That's a whole word there.
we have to do it together. So don't sit back and just, like you said, all the negative comments and things like that. How do you know? Get involved. I mean, come with the resources that you do have, and let's start a discussion. Because it may be somebody else with resources. We put the resources together, and you got to be willing to work with each other. We live with each other. We in the same community. I mean,
Look, it's 2.97 square miles.
what
We
I'm
ain't got
saying?
time to be going back and forth with everybody.
I agree. We got to love with each other, and we got to build with each other if we want to do this together. Now, there are people that wants to build Highland Park. Okay, they're not Highland Parkers. Well, we welcome them as well, but if Highland Parkers really want to get involved, Highland Parkers got to come to the table and to start.
Yeah.
Like I said, I look at my list I got a stack of potential developments. It ain't too many Highland Parkers in the stack. It's not me kicking their applications out or not bringing their applications in. I am not receiving the applications. I get side lots, but a lot of the side lots are from non-residents as well.
Okay.
So when do Highland Parkers got to be accountable as well and come in and say, hey, how can I get involved? And if it's enough of a request, then we build something. And how do you get involved? Okay, Highland Parkers. Now we can have events to say, "Hey, this is for Highland Parkers. Come on, let's sit down and talk about how we can work together to build something together, even if it's one block. But that's us building it together."
That's right. It's very true. It's very true. Ooh, that's a whole word right there. I could take that and run with it. Okay. But we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dive even further. I have some more questions that I do want to ask in regards to development here in Highland Park. And also just kind of talking about some of these buildings that's been around and nothing being done. And it hurts my heart to see it. But we're going to dive into that when we come back. You are watching the Highland Park Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Keisha B. I know we in a different area. I know this is different for you, but don't worry about it. We will return right after this.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help, because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
All media platforms are engaged. Copy. Get ready to launch your show or product. Periscope ready. We're 5x5 ready to launch. Copy that. Trend worldwide across all major platforms.
Ignition. 3, 2, 1.
The world is waiting. Watkins Broadcasting. More than just TV.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. I just watched my intro. I need a new headshot. My God. Yeah, so you've been watching the Highland Park Spotlight Show. I know the area is a little different. We in a different room. My hair is different completely from what's in that in that headshot, because my goodness, I done got locked up and everything. Okay, so we are having an interesting conversation today, and we're talking about development here in the city of Highland Park, and I have the new Community and Economic Development Director, Carlton D. Clyburn Jr. in studio with me today. That's a little joke because,
Yeah, you make it feel like I threatened you or something.
because it's like the D got to be in there. He liked to have the D in his name, so I ain't mad at it. But we're having a conversation in regards to just the things that we're seeing here in the city of Highland Park and how we can be included in the transformation and beautification of the area. And so I wanted to hit on this topic simply because I don't see it just here in Highland Park. Majority of the Black and brown communities that I drive through, I see this. It's unfortunate. Although there are quite a few properties that the city own, there are people who are holding on to properties, and they tend to do so until the properties are so dilapidated that the neighborhoods begin to look like the buildings that they hold, basically. And and it causes the property values to come down. Next thing you know, people move out, and then they get this epiphany to actually build up the buildings that they had, change it into high dollar amount apartments or residential spaces or retail spaces. And it's just so unfortunate to see, and it's happening right here in Highland Park. How can this Community and Economic Development Department fight these owners to either upkeep their property, develop it, get rid of it, sell it, something to help move forward with beautifying the city?
That's a that is awesome point, and ooh, it, ooh,
Yep, I know
speculators. I mean, these so
it's a topic.
yeah, and having worked code enforcement for the many years that I've worked, it is a nuisance. So one of the first things I did when I was on council was I passed a nuisance abatement ordinance,
Okay.
which will help the city to fight this. Now, the administration has been doing a great job prior to me getting here with moving on a nuisance abatement. We have about 100 court orders for these negligent property owners who mostly stay out of town. You know, you got these property owners that's only using these properties as portfolios, but they're paying their taxes on it, so they're not upkeeping them, and they're, like you say, dilapidated, not maintaining the property. So what we're doing is we are heavily going after them through nuisance abatement. The issue with that is the funding. So we got these 100 court orders in.
Mm-hmm.
If we did something to their properties, knocked them down, cleaned them up, that would be an upfront cost. We would attach it to their taxes, but the problem is the upfront cost. So right now I'm looking at creative ways of getting the funding or getting the community partners to come in to do this work for these negligent properties owners, and then attach it to their taxes, which they have been paying. And you know, now we recoup for what went in, and now we're getting the blight removed. So they have done a lot in the residential areas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm focused more so on the business areas and the large buildings to get those out of here and improve our business area, because that's when you're riding up Woodward, that's what you see.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you see, that's what you get. When you're riding up Hamilton, that's what you see, that's what you get. So we need to do a heavy enforcement on the Woodward, the large building, large structure that's been standing dilapidated for many years. So if you are a property owner that owns one of these buildings, just know that we don't like it and we're coming after it. And, you know, we're going to do something about it soon.
Okay, so once I know that there's a long legal process in regards to basically trying to get this issue taken care of, right? So once the ticket is issued, how many tickets is issued before it goes to the court?
So when the ticket is issued, if the owner appears or not appear, the judge has been doing a great job working with the city to get these orders in place,
Okay.
to do something about it. So each situation is different. It needs more attention and it needs more resources. So like I mentioned earlier in the show, working with the county, working with the state, working with these different funding sources. The county has a whole initiative for blight elimination, a whole
Okay.
initiative for demo. So we're going to work closer with the county because the county is healthy. The county has a healthy war chest. So we want to work with the county to bring some of them funds and resources to the city of Highland Park so that we can remove our blight and demo the properties that the county own, that the city own, that needs to be demoed, so we can put it into inventory so we can develop it into something nice and beautiful.
Okay, but I do have this question.
Come on.
Because it did come up before, but aren't there properties that the county own that they haven't necessarily moved on as of yet, or are those properties scheduled for demolition?
They're scheduled for demolition, and it's something that, so I have a meeting with the director for the county, the land bank, next week. So
Okay.
I'll be able to answer that on our next interaction on what's going on, and even with the state. I mean, it's time they've been reaching out. We've been reaching out. We finally got some dates on the calendar where we're going to spend some time together and just really hash out the direction. Let them know what the city of Highland Park is looking for, understanding what the county and what the state is looking for, and moving it together. You know, with the city being the lead.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So there are quite a few developments. I'm hoping that's in the queue. But since coming on board, are there any developments that residents can be excited about for in the near future or so?
So I think so. We do have two option to purchase, three actually, option to purchases, and we have and you know they got Highland Park ties. All three of them
Okay.
is tied to Highland Park. We're talking about a breakfast restaurant opening up on Woodward. We talking about two multi-use facilities. That's live-in retail, one off Woodward and one on Hamilton. So
Okay.
I'm excited about it. We got a new gas station. You know, we say, well, we need another gas station, but this is like a upgrade to a gas station where it's a convenience store and, you know, nice and brands and everything like that. You know, it's going to be a national chain in there. So
Okay.
that's exciting. Like we mentioned before, off the Greenway, there's some potential developments happening off the Greenway. It's a lot. It's a lot to come. You know, I'm excited about it. And we just make sure that the process is right, the I's is being dotted, the T's are being crossed, and we following the letter of the law, making this thing happen. And it's a process.
Absolutely.
And I feel good, I feel confident about these development projects and what's going to happen coming soon. So I would just be excited just to know that, because it's been a minute since we had some real development, and there is real development coming. You know, I want to look up in the next year and a half or so and see cranes. See cranes everywhere.
Cranes in the sky.
Yeah, you know, I don't like all the construction and everything, but I want it. I want things blocked off because we're building and developing and, you know, putting the city back to the forefront of where it used to be. You know, I
Yeah.
remember everything being alive and well in the city of Highland Park. I had a great childhood here. There were all kind of resources and outlets, and you know, it's just good to be in a position to make that happen.
Oh yeah. So I know that Martell, that's his name. So he's supposed to be bringing Sophia Coffee
Yep.
to Highland Park.
Yes.
I cannot wait for
Yeah.
his coffee shop to open. His coffee is so good,
Yeah.
and he supplies one of the places that I kind of frequent, the congregation.
Oh yeah,
And
it's my
so,
spot. I like that place.
I'm always in there grabbing my latte, or I'm down at the roasting plant, and it's like I have to have my lavender latte.
Okay.
I didn't have
I
it
like
today, and I'm feeling a certain type of way.
Oh no.
And so when I get up out of here, I am
Say.
on the way
No,
to
that's
get
right.
my latte. But
I
I'm
actually
excited.
met with him.
Huh?
I actually met with him a couple weeks ago. He showed me the new plans, and so
Awesome.
it's coming. It's coming soon. So it's a couple things that's on my desk to help make that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on the way.
How soon?
I can't do that. I can't do that. That's not.
How
You got to
soon?
call
'Cause I wanna know.
Martell
I wanna
and
know. I
let
wanna know.
Martell tell you.
I might
you
have
know?
to call him. Where's my
Yeah,
phone?
you call him offline and
I'm
talk
gonna have
to
to
him
take this
about it.
conversation
There you go.
offline. I
There
need
you
to
go.
know
But
when
it's
the
a
coffee
great,
shop is
I
coming.
will say this: it's a great plan. It's
Okay.
a great looking development, and it's good potential, and we're going to make it happen.
That's awesome because he's going to be on Hamilton, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Hamilton and Pilgrim.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good spot.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right. I like that because I can stop going to Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Because I don't like Dunkin'.
Well, you know, we don't bash our own businesses. But
No, I just
understand.
don't like the coffee.
I understand.
That's why I go to congregation. But okay. So I know that we've talked about the tax base. We've talked about the different properties here. What strategies can be used to promote diversity and inclusion, as well as, I know we've hit on it before, but as well as allowing citizens here in the city to have a shot at ownership? Like, what's some of the strategies or different ways that we could promote diversity and inclusion?
So great question. And I look at when you talk about diversity and inclusion, every municipalities look different. Here in Highland Park, I look at the diversity and inclusion that look to be more black developers.
Okay.
When you're going through the city, you see work being done. Them not our babies doing the work. So we need to put a workforce development piece in place as this work is being done to train our babies up to do this kind of work. So that's where I look at the biggest diversity and inclusion when it comes to the workforce and building, and also when it comes to the development arm, because we're 2.97 square miles. We are here to give opportunities to to include some of the people that may not be able to develop in other areas, but have the resources, have the know-how, and the ability to develop. So I am having an event, and we're going to talk about all of those pieces that you're talking about, what's available, how we can work together to make this happen. And there are going to be a lot of different engagements on some of that. And just like you say, the relationships that I have, the relationships that I've been building over the years, wearing my different hats, now it's all coming to a head, and we're going to move this thing forward, and we're going to include everyone.
Okay. So you did hit on something which was kind of major, and you talked about the babies not being included, right?
Yeah.
So is there, or will this be a conversation had with different developers that come into the city, which is that of, if you're building here within the city, to also give opportunities to the residents here to be a part of that building, right? And what I mean by that is, will, say for instance, let's say Henry Ford, they say, okay, well, we want to put a urgent care in Highland Park. Would they hire people from the area to assist in that building, or will that be a part of the clause, or be like, okay, you got to hire offer residents first the opportunity. If they don't take it, then you go and get, people from outside the city to be a part.
So that's a good point. And most developers or most businesses that come here, they do give Highland Parkers first take, right?
Okay.
The issue is our workforce is not developed. So we have to pull funds from these companies to say, okay, yeah, the jobs are cool, but you know what? We need money for our workforce development plan so we can get a workforce developed to get those jobs and to do the development as more come. So,
Okay.
Michigan Works does a great job. Like you look at Oakland Park and all of those big companies that's on Oakland Park. When they come in, it's okay, we got 200 jobs, we got 300 jobs for Highland Parkers. We're not meeting the quota because we can't qualify to get the position for whatever reason.
Got it.
And most of it, which is very, very, very discouraging, is they not being able to pass the reading and math test. They look at it like, well, they're not passing the drug test. They don't even get that far. It's just the basic skills. So that needs to be addressed, and that needs to be addressed immediately.
Absolutely.
And we have to look at our youth. I mean, I'm not ousting the other demographics, but our babies are the ones that we're building for, in my opinion. Everything I do for the next generation, like the bridge builder, which even got me to this point is the youth programs and my youth involvement. And I see the disconnect and the fall off, and it's not really being addressed. It's not really being talked about. It's not really being addressed. So we have to develop workforce development programs and projects to get our people ready to take these jobs. Did that answer your question?
That did.
Okay.
That did.
Okay. All right.
That did. And it made it crystal clear. So if anyone that's been watching or listening, they definitely got the point.
I mean, I'm very passionate about that. I'm very
that's
very passionate
that's
about
very
that.
true. Because there's not a lot of STEM schools out here that teaches science, technology, engineering, and math. Those are the core fundamentals of education that is necessarily needed, especially for different positions. And so I thoroughly agree with that.
So, but let's stay there for 1 second. And what was really troubling, right? When I say not being able to pass the math and reading, I'm not talking about for an engineering job. I'm talking about basic math and reading skills that are like, whew, our babies are graduating high school. It can't go into a workforce development place and get a job because they can't pass a math and reading test. That's something's all the way wrong with that.
Absolutely.
All the way. So even, yes, we do need STEM programs and everything like that, but come on, like, let's get the basic skills together so when opportunities do come, we're able to take the opportunities and capitalize off of them. Be like, what would be better than, like, for one of our youngins to graduate, go away for a minute, come back and live and build and be able to, sustain him and his family here in the community that raised them, versus having to go somewhere else and find somewhere else to live or do something. No, we need to keep our good talent and keep our good stock here and add to it. Our good talent and stock is leaving.
You're right.
We need to be able to create opportunities and build them and encourage them to come back. I don't know if we're encouraging them enough, or, when they get out of here, it's like, hey, woo. Because, like you say, it's dilapidated, the blight. So we got to do our due diligence, being in the positions we're in, to have a community that they can feel more prideful on. But at the same time, we have to encourage them and have different programs for them to come step back into to help some of these younger children to follow in a different path, follow in a different footstep. To be able to walk into Michigan Works and apply for one of them jobs, one of them positions, and pass their math and reading tests and get it. You're talking about very livable wages that we're missing out on because they can't pass a math and reading test, and it's not being talked about.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
The ball has been dropped in that area because they pass children along nowadays, and it's unfortunate. But I do want to hit on this topic just for if there's someone listening that's interested. So let's say there's someone interested in developing or purchasing here in Highland Park. What would be the proper steps to do so?
Real estate window.
All right.
So let me back up, because I would like for people to do a little bit more research. Our master plan, our downtown strategic plan is online. It's on the old website, and I'm going to work with the new website to make sure that
it's on there.
I know it's on me, but I want to, make sure. And so take a look and see what it is and what the zoning maps and things of that nature. Then come to the real estate window. But that's not you don't have to, but I encourage you to.
Okay.
But you start at the real estate window, and whatever your idea, whatever you identify, I would recommend coming with an idea, coming with an area that you're interested in developing. Not just come and say, hey, let me get a list of the city-owned property. I would do it the other way, because of we own so many, and the assessing is not the best. You may think it's a structure, but it's a lot, and vice versa. So I would first identify an area or what you want to do, and then say, hey, I'm interested in this area, what we got available.
Okay.
To start the conversation that way.
All right. So let's do this on a hypothetical thing, right?
Okay.
So hypothetically speaking, I go online, I look at the master plan. My idea don't necessarily fit within the master plan. So do I still come to the window?
Absolutely, because just know that you're gonna have to pay for a variance.
Okay.
If it's not in the zoning,
Okay.
everything's possible, properly presented.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And with the, like I said, to get around zoning, it's a different process. So know that you're not just gonna come in and make it happen, because there's different commissions that you have to go through. It's different approvals through the city council. So it's just not as simple as, oh, well, yeah, I know it's residential, but I want to do this. Why can't I do it? Well, come on, bring me your application, pay your fees. Let's get you in the planning commission. Let's go in front of council, because like that's the community engagement, right? That's the people
absolutely.
saying this is what we want to see. So all of that data has been captured and put into our master plan. So this is what the community wants. Now, if you want to change from that, you're gonna have to pay.
Okay. So now let's say I look at the master plan, I look at the zoning, what I want to develop fits right into the plan. I come to the real estate window, I talk to Rosalind, and do I purchase, what are my steps? Do I purchase, like the paperwork on the different lots, or how does that go?
Okay, so and every case is going to be different, right? It could be, if you looking to do one lot and you want to, it depends on what you want to do. And that's really the bottom line of it. If you want to take 5 lots and build a multi-unit deal, that's going to be a different process. So the first thing is putting that application in, a full completed application. That may include a development plan, not a site plan. So we're not asking you to go spend tens of thousands of dollars and hire architects. Let's first talk about what your development looks like. Put in the development plan with your application. Rosalind get it to Kalinda get it to me. Then we'll set a meeting. We'll take a look at it, see if it fits the scope, see if it's available, and then we get into discussions, because this development piece is not, it's not a black and white kind of thing. It's a lot of gray areas. Okay. So every case will be different, and we have to treat every case different, but treat them within the laws. Treat them within the rules, the ordinances that's set in place, the charter, the different things, the state law that controls it, but make it work and make it fit within those, within that framework.
Okay. All right. So we are going to take our last commercial break, because, this hour went by fast. I was not expecting it to go this quick, but I'm thankful because I can go get my lavender latte. So we're going to take our last commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to close this thing out. That's all right. It's your girl, Keisha B, and you're watching the Highland Park Spotlight.
TV 33 is moving to WHPS TV channel 15.2. Make sure to rescan the channels on your TV. Then go to WHPS channel 15.2 to pick up TV 33 and all of your favorite shows. The move is on, and we want you to move with us to WHPS channel 15.2. Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
You ready to put your podcast on iHeartRadio? Yes, your podcast on iHeartRadio. What about Alexa, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android, or iPhone? Plus live TV streaming. Get your podcast seen and heard all over the world. Call 313-868-6612. Pre-recorded shows are accepted to be archived. This is a WHPR distribution platform. Download the app from the App Store. Go to WHPRTV.com. Channels available for lease 24/7 on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Coming soon with subscription and pay-per-view.
Also,
Block time is available. Get yours. Call 313-868-6612. That's 313-868-6612. Executive producer R.J. Watkins. Program director Henry Tyler. 107.5 FM WGPR HD2. Radio we can see.com.
Welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. And yes, we are coming to a close of the show. If you've missed it, you can catch the replay on YouTube at MI Highland Park on YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. So, Carlton D. Clyburn Jr. is here in studio with me, the new CED director for the city of Highland Park. And real quick, if you could do me a favor before, wow, because we literally got like 60 seconds. If people need to get in contact with you because they're interested in development, how can they do so?
313-252-0050, extension 255. You'll get Kalinda Powell Watkins, which is the CED specialist too, and she will help you out. Or if you want to go in person, you go to the real estate window, same number, extension 234, and that's Rosalind, and that's our entry point for everything.
Okay, so it's that simple. 313-252-0050. What was the extension?
255.
255. All right. So extension 255, and that will take you to Kalinda, who is the CED specialist too.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Or the website, right?
Oh yeah, you know, the old website is still hard to navigate. I'm telling you. But the new one though, this new site,
setting it up.
This new site, I've been working hard on this boy, and I still have a lot of work to do.
That's all right.
But
you got it in you though. Get that lavender latte and let's get to
Hey,
work.
That's what. Yep, that's it. Once I get that lavender latte, I might be able to slide through it.
First things first.
That's what was missing this morning.
Yeah.
But I thank every person who has watched the show today. I hope that you gathered some good information from it, that you've gained some insight and some excitement about what's to come for the city of Highland Park. I am looking forward to it, especially this new coffee shop. I am looking forward to the Joe Louis Greenway. I am just looking forward to seeing Highland Park be as beautiful as it once was, but even better, right? So we had a past, the foundation is there, but we can grow to be even better than what the past used to be. So this is the close of the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B, and I will check you guys out next time.